Yes. That's answered all questions.
Hello and welcome. You join me here today at Mother Farm in Biggleswade. As you can see, we're playing our first fish. Hopefully the start of many to come. That's the first one in the net. Happy days. Well, that will do for the first bite. Probably around about mid-double, somewhere around that sort of figure. Put up a good hard fight. Today I want to talk to you about how I approach my fishing in the winter, the sort of lakes I choose to fish and why I choose to fish them, and I'll also talk to you about the rigs that I use during that time as well. For now, we'll get this one back. So yeah, the sort of places that I tend to look for during the winter are heavily stocked lakes. That's normally a good starting point if you want to catch plenty of fish, or at least have a chance of catching a fish. In this one, the lake they call Carp Lake on the Manor Farm, I was told that it's got a good head of 20 pounders in with the odd 30 pounder. That'd be very nice to get one of them. But if not, yeah, anything will do during winter. So the tactic that I'm starting with is the natural approach. I'm going to try worms, maggots, casters. That tend to be sort of my main going tactic during the winter time, especially if bites are hard to come by. So the rig I've been using is a form of spinner rig, which consists of the boom section 25-pound link, a quick change mini hook swivel, size 11, 2 hook beads, a flipper that goes over top of the quick change mini hook swivel, and a size 6 barbless medium curve. All I do to attach the worms is a length of bait floss. I thread 4 worms onto the baiting needle, the cork ball on the top, and then just blob the end of the cork ball. So the reason I'm using the link monofilament is because it's got enough stiffness to kick it away from the lead, but it's also supple enough to lay along the bottom. Now, with that, I do like to put a couple of blobs of putty on, mainly just to help it to kick away and lay along the bottom. I put one bit just past the anti-tangle sleeve, and I put another bit around the crimp at the bottom, but I also leave a small gap at the swivel end just so the hook has got a bit of movement. So the anti-tangle sleeve I'm using is the longest one we do. It's the tungsten version, which I prefer. I like to keep everything pinned down as best as possible if I can. Okay, I'd also like to mention that I use a cork ball on mine. I've seen several different versions of this, but this is how I like to do it. And the reason I do that is just to give it a little bit more buoyancy. Obviously, cork doesn't take on water like other things do. I have tried it with pop-ups. Yes, it does work with a pop-up, but as I say, if you're leaving it out for a long period of time, a cork ball certainly is better in them circumstances. So I've got 2 rods rigged up with this rig, fingers crossed for another bite. Yeah, I'm in. Well, we're in again. on a different tactic this time. I was getting a lot of false sort of pickups, takes, if you like, fishing naturals. Although it did work and it got us the first bite, I decided to give the fake yellow corn a go. And yeah, it's been in the water probably about half an hour, something like that. And it's away, and we're connected with another fish. Don't feel that big, but this time of year they all count. Making a meal of that, isn't I? Bosh, in she go. That'll do. Bite number 2. Only a small one, but it looks like we've got a nice scaly mirror. Okay, here we are with bite number 2. Only a small little fella. Bit of a tactical change. Went on to fake corn. Moved over from the naturals. We was getting a lot of occurrence, a lot of false pickups from perch, and yeah, decided on changing. Just using a fake corn with a small mesh bag of boilie crumb, cell boilie crumb. It's a great tactic this time of year. I've soaked them, heavily soaked it up in some cell stick mix liquid and some cell smart liquid, and obviously, yeah, it's worked. So we're gonna slip this one back and hopefully we see his big brother and sisters. Okay, this is a good bit of fun for winter fishing. Even though it's raining and cold, it's still great fun, great sport to be had in the winter, using the right tactics and choosing the right venues. Well, it definitely feels a better fish. I would say, if I had to lay money on it, it's a better fish. I haven't seen it yet. It's putting up a good fight. Hopefully it is. Oh yes, that's a good fish. It's a better fish than the last ones. Looks like a common. Hopefully we get this one in the net and we'll be able to show you. Again, as a repeat, you know, choosing the right venues, picking those right waters for winter certainly helps to keep the action coming. You've had to guess, it's mid-20. Well, that came up backwards twice. Are you filming still? Yeah, of course you are. Make me look like a right nod. You will. Certainly loving these new Explorer TIs. I was using the old Explorers, even though they're a really, really lovely rod. But certainly these ones, for that little bit extra money, you can tell the difference. And the 10,000 XCs certainly pair up really, really nice on them. It's my first time out with the XCs. Yeah, I'm impressed with them as well, to be fair. I think the bite was that delicate that it hasn't dropped the lead, which is probably why it's felt a better fish also. And it's in the net. That will do, bite number 3. Pleased with that one, definitely looks a bit bigger fish. Yeah, great bit of winter sport down here at Manor Farm. Well, look at the length of that one. When I hooked it, I thought it was a better fish, and it certainly was. Around mid-20, but yeah, it certainly put up a hard battle. The length of it, it's just incredible. It's more like a grass carp than a common. But yeah, happy with that one. Again, on the same tactics as the last fish, so that's certainly working. Hopefully for a few more. Okay, so it's nearly 4 o'clock. A little recap on how today's been. We ended with 3 bites. The long common that you saw was the last one we had. It's gone quiet for the last couple of hours. However, the rods are out there on the dance floor, and I am confident of a bite through the night. So if I do get that bite through the night, you'll see me then. But if we don't get nothing until the morning, then I'll catch up with you in the morning. That's a bite, boy. Oh, that's a take. Well, that didn't take long. Literally just got dark, and yeah, the right hand rod's away. Yeah, and we're into an angry fish. Certainly the change of tactics have paid off. 3 bites on the new tactics, moving off from the naturals, which was sort of getting plagued by the smaller fish in the end, and changed over to the corn rig, has certainly paid dividends. It feels a good fish, but they all fight quite hard in here, to be fair, so it's hard to tell. It looks like he's ready. In it goes. Yeah, so as I was saying, the tactic is changed. The change of tactic has definitely paid off. It's done us yet another bite. And the night is still young, as they say. Looks like a lovely scaly double. I have got some rigs already tied, and in winter you do get sort of certain bite times and sort of bite spells. So I'm just going to unclip that off the quick clip, put a fresh rig on, get it back on the spot, and hopefully get another bite. Well, here we are with bite number 4. The new tactics are obviously working, as this one proves. A really colourful linear, probably around mid-double. So yeah, going into the night, I'm feeling very, very confident. But for now, that will do. I'm going to get this one back and hopefully get another one. Well, I've just landed what looks like another 20-pound fish. It's 10:30 at night. It went a bit quiet, but yeah, out of the blue, we've got another one. So let's get around and show you. Here we are with that common I've just had. Didn't really put up much of a fight, to be honest. It came in quite easily. A couple of bleeps on the old rod, and yeah, went walking down to it. tip was bent round, reeled this one in. I suppose it's around mid-20. I'm going to get a slip back, get the rod back out, and hopefully we have another one. We're in. Yep. Good morning. I'm into my third fish of a bit of a bizarre treble take moment. It's I think it's around 4:30 in the morning, but I certainly like to feed in the early hours. Happy days. That's the biggest one of the trip, mate. It's a good 20-pounder. Here's the first one of the treble take, probably around about mid-double. I think the second one's about the same sort of size. After catching this one, I got the rod back out on the spot, and as soon as I do that, that was pretty much away in my hand. So we'll get this one back and show you the last one. Here we are with bite number 3. Definitely bigger than the other two, around upper 20s. I think this is the biggest one we've had so far. The sport we've had down here has been absolutely brilliant. You know, with double takes, etc. For winter fishing, you can't complain. I'm gonna get this one back. The rods are still out on the dance floor. We've still got the morning to go. I'm gonna make a brew and hopefully I'll report back if we get anything else. Okay, so we touched on yesterday that I'd done a tactical change with the rig. I was getting pestered by the small fish. There's a lot of perch in here and smaller fish like roach, etc. So what I actually end up doing is going to a couple of plastic bits of corn with a fake maggot on the top. The maggot was mainly put on there because I was putting maggots still in the mix. Although I wasn't putting any real ones onto the hair, I decided on using a fake one as a visual spotter. So onto that rig, we was putting a small mesh bag, which consisted of crushed cell with cell smart liquid, cell stick mix liquid, all blended up, tiny little bag of that with a small handful of cell pellet, response pellet into the bag. Now that was only hooked on with a couple of bits of foam on either side of the hook just to stop that from tangling on the cast and also protecting the hook point. The area I'm fishing is down to the right hand side in this swim, and it comes up onto a bit of a plateau and then drops on the back of it into 11 foot of water. Top of the plateau is about 3 foot of water, the back of it's about 11. It seemed during the day they were higher up onto the plateau, onto the shelf, so I was sort of working my way up to the top until I stopped getting the bites, and then worked my way back down, and it seemed during the day they were closer to the top, which you'd expect with the sun out, and then as the night started to fall in, I was then dropping back down the bottom of the shelf towards the bottom, and that's when I continued to get the bites. And some good fish amongst them, to be fair. It's been brilliant fishing down here at Manor. Can't moan at the result we've had. I'll certainly be coming back. We're away. As you can see, we're into another fish. After the treble take you saw me have, it did go a little bit quiet. So decided on redoing the rods again, and it's paid off. We're into another one. Yeah, this one seems to be putting up a good fight. That will do, bite number 10. Happy days. Plough them fields, always be prepared. Hang on, I'm away. Well, no sooner did we get that other fish in the net, we got the rod straight back on the spot, and as you can see, we're into another one. Doesn't feel as big, but how much fun is this for a bit of winter fishing? Bite number 11. Hopefully we get it in so we can show you what it is. Great bit of sport. Very nice, another 20 pounder. You really can't beat this for a bit of sport for winter fishing. Well, how about that for an immaculate common? Mid to upper 20s. Another fine example of what the lake's got to offer. I've got another one also to show you, around the same sort of size. It's been absolutely prolific. Brilliant fun for winter's fishing. A nice 20 pounder to end our session here at Manor. It's been absolute carnage at times, but it's been absolutely great fun. Lovely jabbly.